Hello everybody, this is me, Daksh Mavani. अभी सुबह के 3 बज रहे हैं. It is August 24th, Sunday, and I am going to run the half marathon for the first time in my life. Morning 5:30 a.m. So I'll take my pre-workout kind of thing, pre-run meal, and I'll share with a few things which I wanted to on camera. For some people, running half marathon wouldn't have been, difficult because they're always athletic or from younger age they're into sports. So they have that endurance, they have that mindset of an athlete. They have trained their body for several years as well. But for me, the case was completely different. I was never into training that hard. I was not that kind of person, who would actually go for a workout for 2 hours or 1.5 hour, whatever it is. A very different person back then. Very different person. Around 2020, you could say, when COVID-19 was going on, the pandemic, I never used to work out. I never really did anything which, would help my body to um, improve, or, my endurance would improve. Any kind of strength training I never did. 2020. I was in 10th back then. Then came the time of 11th and 12th. There also, I wasn't good in studies, wasn't good in physical workouts as well. Joined the gym couple of times in 12th class, 3 times to be precise. All 3 times I quit in 1 month, and I never went gym consistently for even a single month. 15 days on, 15 days off. It was that bad. I used to think gym is for fools. Why do you want to even gym? Like, why do you want to stress your body that much? I never really understood back then. Then in 12th only, I came across David Goggins, of course. If you don't know him, he was 100 and no, he was 295 pounds, which is almost around 150 kilograms in at the age of 24. Yes, at the age of 24, and he wanted to be a Navy SEAL, which is their army. You could understand that. So he wanted to get recruited there. He had to lose 106 pounds in 3 months to get to that level. 106 pounds in 3 months. Like, it's a joke, I'm telling you, right? It's not possible. How can you lose 50 kilograms in 3 months? Either you are on some, what do you call that? A surgery, probably, or you're using some external things, but you can't lose it naturally. Humanly impossible. Everyone thought except him. Guess what? He was on a 700 calorie diet. He used to do 200, 300 reps of every single exercise he did. He couldn't run. He couldn't run a quarter of mile, which is around zero point 0.8 kilometers, I believe. Zero, no, quarter of a mile would be 0.45, somewhere around that. He couldn't run half a kilometer then. 3 months later, fast forward, he was a Navy SEAL. He got into that test. He wrote the ASVAB test and everything. Now, why did I share with you all this is because David Goggins has been a really important part of my life. At the time of 12th, when I was literally doing nothing, used to play Call of Duty for six hours straight. never used to sleep on time. Your typical gamer friend. I was that guy basically for almost around 3 years. People at my age were cracking JE exam, the MSET exam, and getting into good engineering colleges for admission. Whereas me at the other end, I never even knew what I was doing back then. Like, why was I even doing that? Just because I did not have awareness of things, I did not respect the time and values my parents were putting on me. I have no idea. But I was the person which you hated the most to be, honestly speaking. I never really would have imagined myself, you know, to continue living like that. And at that point of time, I found David Goggins' book Can't Hurt Me. Now, I read the book, completely inspired by the book, okay? I get to know then later on in Hyderabad itself in 2022 that there was going to be a 10K run. So then it was a no-brainer. But the problem was I wasn't consistent in the gym back then. Yet I wanted to do the 10K. Now I signed up. Only 3 days were left. Even in the newspaper also. Yeah, it was on 18th December as far as I remember. 15th December I got to know in the newspapers. Called up my friend. Let's register for this 10K. We did register for it. Trust me, it was a flat track. There was no elevation. One of the easiest runs it would have been. I screwed up that also. Like my legs gave out at the 8th kilometer. I was literally limping towards the 10th kilometer back then. So 2022 that was. But the moment I finished that 10K, just when I crossed the finish line, I felt something inside me. I was able to go through this misery. I was able to go through this pain. Yeah, so something clicked inside me, that I'm able to go through this misery. I could be able to go through this pain, honestly speaking. That was 2022 for you. Then I started training in the gym regularly. Used to do CrossFit back then. So, yeah, I used to do CrossFit. Then I went to the gym consistently for 5 days. 5 sites, no, no. 5 months, mind you. 5 months I went consistently. Just because I wanted to be better version of myself. And this was at the time of 12th ending, probably you could say. Yeah, my JE results came out at that time. So, horrendous result. Absolutely disgusted by it because I knew I did not work hard for it. And I knew one thing, I wouldn't deserve that much in my life. I had to do something more. That couldn't have been the end for me, honestly. So, before coming to engineering, right now I'm in engineering third year. I decided that these 4 years I'm going to be the best version of myself. I If the first year of me sees me in the fourth year, he shouldn't have imagined that I was going to be like that. But God likes to test you a lot. In 2023, around September or October, I got to know that I had pilonidal sinus. Pilonidal sinus is what do you call it? Okay, see, it happens at the tailbone, right? The skin gets infected. There's a chance that you could even get cancer from it, but that is very rare. It happens at the tailbone. It affects the bone as well. So you need to cut the bone if something major would have happened. Surgery, like in just one day after got to know what happened. It was a new time for me in engineering. I had different confidence. And yet, in just 1 month of joining engineering, everything was sloshed. So, what did I do after that? After my surgery, I never really, got into workouts. Honestly, 2023 October, right? And yes, forgot to mention one thing. Before that surgery, in the month of August, I had run a 10K. Another 10K that was of NMDC. Actually, this is the same run I ran back then in 2023, and that was a 10K. This is a 21K. So, yeah. So I got through that 10K. It was good, decent. There were elevations in this one. There were a couple of flyovers. So, obviously, I had bound to take on my legs, but the environment there was pretty cool. I managed to finish it in almost the similar time as the first 10K, but this time the route was way tougher than that. 10K, yeah. Okay, so after 10K, I underwent the surgery. Now, literally, after the surgery, the 5 days after the surgery, a pipe was connected to my butt, and I had to carry whatever the blood was draining, like in a, what do you call, a box kind of a thing. I was in that shape for at least the first week. Initially, I couldn't sit properly. I couldn't sleep on my back. It took a lot of time to adjust to it, honestly. So used to go for regular checkups back then. Never went to college that whole month, and I used to wear what do you call, adult diapers kind of thing when I used to go to college as well for some time, because I never knew if the blood was draining from that particular point or not. So yeah, I was in that state, you could say, and then uh, later on, slowly, I started to adapt to the, new things, new hygiene, probably you could say, and a few things which I had applied on myself later on, that I would be following this kind of routine and etc. Would keep the area clean and etc. Many things which I had to take, basically the precautions. Fast forward it to 1 year, May 2024. My birthday is in May 10th. I tried to run in May, did not work. Absolutely gutted by that, because I was a person who ran a 10K before. Now I was even struggling to run 2 kilometers. I was in the lowest phase of my life, you could say, in terms of physical fitness, honestly. I was in the lowest phase of my physical fitness journey. I thought my life is over, honestly. I used to tell my mom about this. I will always remain this fat guy. I won't work out. Where is my past self? Why has God been testing me that much? I literally told these words to my mom one day when I was going back home. So, coming out of that state to actually running a half marathon, even I can't believe it until I wore this. And the moment I'll complete the half marathon, I can't imagine what it's going to be like. Like, becoming the first half marathoner from my family, at least. No one's into running. My brother's into fitness. Thanks to him, I was able to at least align my life a little bit in terms of my physical fitness. But coming back to the topic, May 2024, I tried to run 2 kilometers. That also wasn't possible at all. Then September 2024 came. I tried to join the gym, did some few work. Okay, so I did join the gym few times. I wasn't able to do gym also because there was a constant pressure on my back, which led to blood seeping in. So because of that, I did not continue gym as well. So did not complete the gym, was not in a good shape, was not having the endurance, I was not having the strength. I used to miss the version of 2023 in terms of physical fitness, CrossFit. Where am I? So, in the search of where am I joined the club later on in 2024, October, November, December, in these period only somewhere. I joined the club Hyderabad Runners, whose flagship event is this NMDC Hyderabad Marathon, and few of my friends, couple of them are there. They had been running since 2 years or something like that. Even I wanted to do these kind of things, but I wasn't really sure what I wanted with myself, while joining the run club. So, because see, I am a hefty guy, 6 foot tall, around 100 and 105 kgs, somewhere around that. And I don't have muscle mass that much on my end. Only the structure looks fine. Never really knew what capacity I hold it in. And yeah, so I joined the run club by January. So in February, I get to know February ending or March starting that the NMDC marathon is going to happen. When I got to know that the marathon is going to happen, I had two choices. Either I would do the 10K or I would do the 21K, which I'd never even imagined in my life. So the answer is obvious now. I went for the half marathon, but I was in a delusion then, what should I train for? I was like, what? Let's push. Let's see, what's in store for me. 21K, I thought that, 6 months of time I would train properly. 21K would have been okay. But honestly speaking, I started my training back in May. Proper training I started in May, June, July. The PRs which I hit recently, those are very recent. I started training like an athlete very recently. It's that. So coming back, I went it. I was like, screw it, let's do 21K only. Fast forward, March. March I ran 8 kilometers in 1 hour 20 minutes. Worst performance ever. Did not expect, the endurance to drop that much. And in gym workouts also, I wasn't doing anything properly. Nothing properly. There was nothing structured. I did not know what my body wanted, honestly. What parts of the body should I train? What is the running form required? Nothing. Zero knowledge. Just, grinding. That's it. And in May, I ran 13 kilometers. Personal best again. But after that 13K, there came a dip. So I was here, you could say. Now it came a dip like this. Now in that dip, now in that dip, I lost the complete running, track of running. I did not know what to do. So I believe there were 90 days left, okay? I chat GPT'd everything. I sent it the course, half marathon. How am I going to train this, that, etc. Then, I was following the workouts based on ChatGPT. ChatGPT was my trainer, was my coach, and it was my mental support as well because I trained it to be like Goggins. That's that. Then 90 days came to 60 days, 60 came to 30, 30 came to 10, and 10 came to 1 hour. Right now, after 1 hour, I would be there running. Recently, then ChatGPT added that day when the 90 days were going on, and I ran 14 kilometers. Good. Did some workouts. Honestly, I did not ever feel 21K would be as near as it is today. Never been more grateful to take few decisions in my life which I never knew where it would lead. But it was just the determination to, get somewhere, get somewhere, get somewhere. Because mediocrity is often rewarded, but you have to be that one notch higher at least. And I don't want to be the guy who speaks these things. I do these things in real life. That's why I am able to speak with confidence and I am able to share my journey. That's the point. Now, there are people out there who run half marathons in 1 hour 50 minutes, 2 hour 20 minutes in the first try. Screw them, I don't care about that, honestly speaking. Because everyone's journey is different, everyone's body is different, everyone has a different purpose in their life, and for me, running tests my grit, determination, and the mental capacity on which I could operate on and which I have never seen before. So today, if I run in under 3 hours, the 21K, which I will hopefully, I will be qualifying for the marathon next year as well. Next 3 years, the certificate which I'll be having, I'll be able to participate in the marathon. So, see you in the run. This was my story regarding running and my life basically because I covered many points, included that. But yeah, physical fitness was something which I was missing completely. And I'm glad. Thank you to Hyderabad Anas. Thank you to my brother. Thank you to my parents. Thank you to everyone who has seen me. Thank you to the coaches. Thank you to the people who never really doubted me, who always thought, I could push it. Thanks to my friends for the unwavering support. Thanks to everyone who has been on this part of journey. This is just one phase of life of mine. The moment I finish this half marathon today, I know for sure that after 2 or 3 days I'll be starting to train for the marathon as well. Because this is not where I want this to end at. There's something more I need to achieve. There's something more purposeful I need to do with my life. So see you guys in the run. Let's see how it goes. And not let's see how it goes. I'll definitely finish it in under 3 hours. And let's see if I could actually break the barrier of 240 or 245. Okay.